It's TNT Creations, and we're back with a new video, which is HBCU versus PWI. So on this side, we have me, Tiara Thomas, aka TNT Creations, representing UCLA, the University of California, Los Angeles. I will be a second year, and I am a sociology major and an education minor. And on this side of the ring, we have
Malcolm Thomas, a junior political science and economics major from the illustrious Howard University.
Extra. Okay, so so basically this video is going to be HBCU versus PWI. So we're going to be giving you some of the pros and cons of an HBCU versus a PWI. Let me first explain for those of you who don't know what an HBCU or a PWI is. So a PWI is a predominantly white institution. So that means the majority of the student body will be white. So it explains itself. Go ahead.
And HBCU stands for Historically Black College or University. Howard University is one of the best historically black colleges or universities. There's several in the South and throughout the nation. And so for obvious reasons, it's going to have a majority black student population, but it's actually very diverse. We have students representing from all over the world, all over the African diaspora, as well as some white students, some Asian students, some Native American students. There's a little bit of everything at HBCUs. And so what do you want to start with? The social aspect?
Yeah, let's talk about the social aspect first.
Okay.
So, would you like to start, or would I like to start? How about HBCU goes first?
Okay, so if anyone knows anything about Howard University or any HBCU, we have a very thriving social situation going on. There's always a party. And don't get it confused. Even though people are always turning up and people are always having a good time, you will see the same students that you see at the party getting straight A's with a 4.0. So yeah, everything is just about having a good time. People will just randomly go out into the yard, start playing some music. People will start dancing. People will be selling stuff. They'll be, because everyone, has their side hustles. They're promoting their businesses. So it's just a very much a thriving center of the student experience, I would say, at least coming from Howard University directly. The social life is very much what's going to make your experience.
So I heard there's a party every day at Howard. Is that true?
I mean, it won't necessarily be at Howard, but there's definitely a party in close proximity every day. Every day?
Do you guys really have day parties? Is that really a thing?
Oh, a darty? You gotta use the proper terminology.
So the social aspect of a PWI, once again, this is speaking from our own personal experience, but for example, at UCLA, there's always events going on. I wouldn't necessarily say it's always a turn up, but there's always going to be something to do as far as parties and stuff. Specifically if you're a black student at the PWI, there's rarely black parties. I wouldn't say rarely, but you gotta look for them. They come not often, but once in a while, and you really gotta hope you don't have no work to do so you can go to that turn up. And but other than that, the social aspect is really cool. Once again, you're going to be exposed to a lot of different cultures, which I think could be an advantage of a PWI because you'll have Asian friends, Indian friends, Native American friends, and you'll have friends from literally all different backgrounds if you choose to do so. And I feel like that's a good experience at a PWI that you can't really get at an HBCU because there is a lot more different cultures there.
So yeah, like I said, that's a common misconception about our HBCUs. We actually represent more cultures, I would say. I can't measure that out exactly. But, when you tend to think of a black student, you think of a black American that was born here, that, is from the hood or something like that and got in through affirmative action. I feel like at PWIs, at least the perception that a lot of people have is that there's one type of black. There's a way to be black, and that's one of the first things you learn going because it's mandatory for us to take an African-centered class at Howard University and many other HBCUs, and you learn about how many different types of black people there are. I mean, black people is not just black American. You have Africans, people that came here from Nigeria, that came here from Ghana, that came here from Sierra Leone, you know, anywhere. You have people that came from all over the Caribbean islands. They all bring their own unique perspectives, and we all find a different way to contribute to the struggle. I feel like you get a lot more of that diversity because at a PWI, it's more of like a forced situation. Like, because there is a majority culture, because majority of the population looks a certain way and there's little sprinkles of everything else, you don't get a representation properly of that culture. Yeah, that would be my response to that.
Might have to chop up my school right now. What you were saying, I believe, leads into campus climate.
Okay, campus climate.
So I guess this could be a con to a PWI, specifically UCLA, with my experience last year, will be the campus climate. Because, like Malcolm was saying, because there's a really small group of black students, for example, 4% of our university last year was made up. 4% of our university were black students, only 4%. So with that happening, usually in all of your classes, you were the only black students, or there was maybe one or two others. And a lot of times you will find yourself being that person that has to defend black people, especially in like some political science classes and so on. A lot of people are ignorant to the issues that goes on, especially recently with everything going on in the United States with Black Lives Matter and these killings by the police and so on. A lot of people are very insensitive to those issues. And once again, at UCLA, we can bring up a number of issues over and over and over. And a lot of times, because you're a black student on that campus, they'll say you're an athlete. So I wish I could count on my hand the number of times I've been asked, oh, what sport do you play? And I'm like, I don't play a sport. I'm here for academics. And that's a shock to a lot of people because they do believe that majority of the black students there are athletes. Now, don't get me wrong, there's a good number of black athletes, but not every black student out of PWI is an athlete. And that can get aggravating sometimes because they feel like the only worth you have can be your athletic ability. It's just like a lot of people are going to be ignorant to things that hurt you, and it makes it a little bit worse because a lot of times the university doesn't want to stand by your side because once again, since we're such a small percentage, it's easier to make the larger percentages, aka majority of the white students or Asian students, feel more comfortable than help a small number of students out. UCLA last year, the campus climate was wow. It was a shock for me because a lot of people just like will look at you like, huh?
You want to talk about the party?
I talked about it in one of my other YouTube videos.
Okay.
If you want to check out one of my other YouTube videos, you can look at the recap of my first year experience at UCLA, and I talk about the blackface party that one of the frats threw. But it's crazy. And they'll say all of this ignorant stuff that is really hurtful, and then they're like, why are you mad? Why are you so upset? Why are the black Bruins so sensitive? Why are they always complaining? And that's something you have to deal with, but once again, it allows you to build tougher skin, and it's just a reflection of the real world because once we graduate and get out of that university, that's what society is going to be just like. Whatever business you're in, usually majority of the people you're going to be working with might be white, and that's something you're going to have to deal with. So when you have that experience, you're going to be able to go through what you got to go through.
Okay,
Campus climate.
Campus climate. So before I even came to Howard, like one of the things I heard from a lot of people of different cultures and colors is, are you sure you're black enough to go to a HBCU? You know what I mean? It's very black there, you know, and you're not usually surrounded by black people and all that type of stuff, as if my family wasn't black, as if my church wasn't black. But moving on. So, you know what I mean? I talked about it a little bit before, but you know, this whole perception of what it means to be black and what black looks like. And I think that's the problem that we see a lot with the narratives, you know what I mean, that is force fed to us through the media often. And so when I came to Howard University, because so many people were in my ear, I kind of had this I don't know if I'm gonna call it a fear, but an apprehension. Like I was like, okay, I might have to, you know what I mean? I'm gonna just prepare myself for anything, you know, because I'm not sure what this is gonna be like. And it was one of the most affirming spaces that I've been in such a long time, because like that's when you get to really see, like, you know what I mean? If you're black at this school, it doesn't mean that you're an athlete, or it doesn't mean that, you know what I mean, you're not smart, or that you can't take certain classes, or that you can't be into the hard sciences or something, anything that's considered different or that is not the status quo for being black, what people determine being black means. And so you get to really learn about not just affirmation, but identity formation. You get to really find yourself more. I don't know if that is descriptive enough for y'all, but yeah, I just thought it was a really important space for me to go into, because it was always so many expectations, and I always had to be competitive, you know, that whole work twice as hard, you know, to get half as much and all that. And it was like, I just get to come here and learn, and, you know what I mean, figure out what I like to do, figure out what I'm about. And I really appreciated that.
I know a lot of misconceptions that you do hear about a PWI is if you go to a PWI, you will not have any black friends. That is not true at all. Although you can have, your campus could consist of 4%, 4% to like 10%, whatever campus you're looking at. For example, I have never had so many black friends in my life. There's this thing called the Black Student Union or the African Student Union, and it really just brings together a lot of black people, like you said, from different cultures and backgrounds, everybody who's into a lot of different things, and you will have just as many black friends as you have as a PWI as you can have an HBCU. I honestly believe that.
Okay, so we got dorms, academics.
Dorms.
We got a lot to cover. Let's
go with dorms.
Okay.
Go first.
Oh, okay. So we're getting more into the con sides of going to a HBCU. This is going to be an overarching problem, but HBCUs deal with lots of issues when it comes to funding. I got to see senators like literally talking about proposing bills that would cut funding to HBCUs. You know what I mean? And so we're already...
Is this an excuse for your dorms?
Yeah, because the dorms be a hot mess. I mean, I just got to keep it 100%. Yeah, the dorm that I stayed in freshman year, you know, it's a growing process. It helps you learn. Had no air conditioning. And, you know, you think DC, it's not that hot. It was like 100 degrees for 2 weeks when I was there. Yeah, if you're coming to an HBCU, just mentally prepare yourself for that. You are not about to be living in luxury. I mean, I hear it's not much better at other institutions, but I'm sure she could speak on it, at least for UCLA. UCLA's a good school, though. But, yeah, just be prepared for that. It's going to be rough, okay? So I'm not, you know what I mean? I don't like to tell people the dream. You're going to get there and be like, what is going on? What is this?
I've heard that dorms at Howard have, like, rats and roaches.
Oh, God.
Is that true? You don't even got to answer that because I see the YouTube videos. So...
I didn't say no.
The dorms at UCLA are awesome.
All of them?
I went to a lot of different camps at different institutions, and I don't want to say speaking for every PWI, but specifically for UCLA, the dorms are like hotels to me. You can check out the dorm tour on my video. That's just one of the type of dorms, but every dorm I've been into has been nice. I haven't really been into a dorm that's like, I want to live here, or I couldn't see myself living here. I can't. Every school is different, really, with this one.
Because the UC's got money. You got to account for that.
Every school is different with this one, but I can vouch for UCLA that the dorms are awesome. Okay, sports. Sports at UCLA are awesome. We have the most amount of NCAA championships out of every university in the nation. We're just the best when it comes to sports. We're D1. And for Howard, talk about your sports.
So we do have some more obscure sports, you know what I mean, that people do very well in. I think women's soccer. How'd
you guys do in your football season? Is there a football team?
So at Howard University and a lot of different HBCUs, when you go to a football game, like you're not going to watch football. Like, let's just get that completely clear. Like if you're going to watch football, you're gonna be bored, you're gonna be disappointed because they're probably gonna lose. But you come to the football game. I know I'm about to get some flack for this, but you come to the football game for the band because the band shows out. And the dancers, they show out.
I'm not trying to get blacklisted.
Okay, so Greek life.
Greek life is very serious.
It's extremely serious. You don't play with it. You don't play with it.
So I don't want, like, most likely if you're watching this video, you're interested in Black culture. So maybe, let's say you want to join a Black frat or sorority. I don't want that to stray you away from going to a PWI, because we do have Black frats and sororities. It's definitely not as big as it is, as it would be at an HBCU for sure.
But it's still there.
Let's do food really quick.
Okay.
Food. UCLA specifically. I don't want to say PWIs because I know I've been to other PWIs and their dining halls are not the business at all. But UCLA specifically, all day I will talk about the food. We have some of the best. I think we have the #2 best dining halls in the world. Like, our food is bomb. Howard, how you doing over there?
I would learn how to cook. Yeah, I would do that. Okay. So academics.
Academics at UCLA. Academics at PWIs. Really, academics is different at every university. Specifically, UCLA, it is a challenge. I am not gonna lie, especially if you're a South Campus major. South Campus for us, that means
Sciences?
Yeah, sciences, like a STEM major, especially if you're a STEM major. It is a challenge. Nothing will come easy for you as far as academics. Nothing. But it's very doable. If you can get in, you can stay in. But first, let me tell you what I heard about Howard academics.
Oh, okay. What did you hear?
I heard y'all got it real easy, you know? Like, y'all just be going through with the breeze. Y'all friends with your professors. Like, it's just a game. I'll play. Tell me about academics.
So, it definitely, I feel like at most institutions, it depends on your discipline. You know what I mean? There's disciplines that are just, they're more rigorous. Like, I feel like all the disciplines, because you know what I mean, I'm a social science major as well. You're yeah, we're both social science majors, but you know, there's like a conception. It's rate your professor, or what's it called?
Rate your professor. I use that too.
That is very important at Howard, because like, I would say there's like a path to take if you want to take the easy way out, and then there's a path to take.
Like Dr. Wars
definitely. There's definitely, if you watch a different world, there's definitely a Dr. Ward. There's some people you go in there, and it's like, it'll be a class required for your major, and you gotta take it, and it's just something you gotta.
Can I ask you this? Do you think the faculty cares about you at Howard?
Oh, definitely. See, that's the thing. Even like,
I don't really feel that way at UCLA.
Oh, that's weird.
I feel like you're just a number a lot of times. Not all the time. They will tell you, your professor will tell you, you're not just a number. I'll know your name. And then, like, the 9th week of class, you're like, I'm Tierra, remember you said you remembered me.
That's probably like a twofold thing. Like, it's also because we're HBCU, but then also because we're a medium-sized campus. Like, y'all have thousands of people at your campus, so they probably don't got time even if they wanted to. But you got to do your due diligence. Be friends with you. Yeah, no, you got to do your due diligence regardless, because some people really be out here thinking that you can just like not come to class and then go talk to them like a couple of times and get an A. That's a myth. Like, I know people that tried that and they had to like withdraw from the class because they were about to fail.
That's deep.
Like, the teacher was like, you could take this F. That's what you can do. If you want to, is what I would say about Howard academics. They will be real nice to you and hand out that F.
Basically, that was PWI versus HBCU, aka UCLA versus Howard University. If we didn't cover anything, or if you guys want to hear us debate or talk about something else, just comment below. Let us know what you think is true or you don't really agree with. Once again, if you have questions, let us know. And it's been Tierra Thomas representing UCLA.
And Malcolm Thomas representing Howard University.
Signing off for TNT Creations. Thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe, like, comment, share. Subscribe. Is there a risk of getting diabetes if you attend Howard?
There's a risk of getting diabetes if you go to UCLA. I mean, like I said, there's not a lot of options. You just got to be aware of what you're doing. They do list the calories and all that stuff.